うちの団の評判はもともと悪いだろ。これ以上悪く下がってろぞ。カロリーナ様、大丈夫ですか？お怪我はありませんか？
All right, my friends, we just got done watching the Oblivious Saint Can Contain Her Power episode number 2, and I am really, really liking this show. This show is really good. It really kind of strokes all those different things that I really enjoy about this kind of genre of show, like this kind of fantasy. You know, girl goes to the evil prince. He ends up being a cushy, wushy guy, and etc. etc. I love these kinds of shows, and this one just continues to be really good. So, question for you guys. My theory is I think that the main character, so I think our girl's evil sister may have sent assassins after her. Let me know what you guys think about that theory, but I am thinking at this point that Flora, which is her evil sister, which is Carolina's evil sister, I think she might have sent assassins after her because she was still pissed that she went and she can go experience whatever she's going to experience. Regardless, if it's not Flora, I wonder why she's being attempted to be assassinated whatsoever, especially within the domain, within the kingdom, and within, like, they're actually in the in the castle of the king and queen, so that's really weird. So regardless, let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments down below. Now, with this episode, though, I really love the first half of the episode. Let me say this. The first half of the episode was just okay. It was just kind of going with the motions. They were, you know, going in the carriage. They were taking off into Edward's domain. They were, you know, arriving at the kingdom and stuff. As they arrived there, they were hit by bandits. One of the characters that we got introduced to, which his name is 𝐜𝐻𝐻, he's one of the soldiers under Edward. He got injured, but he was one that reached out to Carolina pretty early on. And through Carolina's prayers, this person got heavily injured, but she was able to help heal him by being able to, like, her prayers were able to buff the powers of those around her. This was also felt by Edward and other soldiers as well, too, feeling, oh, their powers are stronger than they usually are. So she basically has like a effect around her to increase magical power, which is pretty cool. Later on in the episode, so that first half of the episode was just okay, and then we get to the kingdom, and that's really where it starts. So she meets her new parent-in-law, right? She meets her mother and father-in-law. She meets the king and queen. She has lunch with them. They're excited to have her here. They extend a hand. They're extremely nice, even though they are these big, powerful beings. They're very nice and welcoming, and she feels very warm. Now, as that happens, she begins to train and go under the tutelage of different people in the kingdom, including the queen, about, like, you know, etiquette and how to conduct herself and how to be like the crown princess and all this other stuff. So, like, they go through a lot of different training, and she does extremely well at it and gets praised. And almost towards the end, there's Theodore, which is Edward's attendant, who tells her that, like, she's going to be tested again for magic, because in this kingdom, they test at 5 and 16, just because magic can be very weird. It's not always set as preconceived notions are. So there's a chance that she does have kind of magic. This is even tenfolded as they learn, as she's never dealt or seen monsters before. Which is unheard of based on Edward and Theodore's reaction. And what that tells us is that she may have, again, some kind of barrier around her that repels monsters, because including on their way here, they didn't see any, which is very weird. That's why they had such a, like, an army behind them, because typically they would see a lot of monsters, but they didn't have any. So there may be some kind of, like, barrier around her, kind of warding off monsters. So, you know, Theodore took note of that, like, that's weird, you know what I mean? So basically, saint powers are going off and crazy, but again, unbeknownst to her, unknown to her, it's just kind of like a default setting of hers, if that makes sense. So that's going to be very interesting as well, too. Last couple of things I want to talk about is, where was it at? It was right before the introduction. Where was it at? Maybe I lost it. Maybe it was at the end. But anyways, regardless, you know, I think that was really cool, finding out more about her Saint powers, you know, kind of going off. The fact that she has like a default setting to buff, I think is really, really cool. Oh, it was not Theodore, it was Edward. I like that she's being a heavy influence on him as well too. One of the characters that was introduced to us, which is her bodyguard, was telling her about how, you know, as a kid, Edward never practiced, never trained, never was studious. Nothing, was always kind of like running amok, doing his thing. And he's now sitting in class and actually paying attention. And that's directly because of her. He wants to kind of impress her. He wants to kind of be a part of what she's doing. So he's kind of putting himself in situations, even though he has no interest in studying, has no interest in any of this. He's actually putting himself out there to learn. And he's kind of being called out by his men, by his like army friends and everything. Like, weird that he's acting that way. I just thought that was such a cute moment as well too. So the anime continues to do the right things. It has a very interesting character, very interesting plot line. Very interesting in the fact that she has her saintly powers that, you know, are being emitted slowly. And once she finds out how to control and use them effectively, it's only going to get better from here. So, so far, this one is a double thumbs up in my book. I think this episode was a 7 out of 10. Again, 8 means it's a great episode. I don't think it was a great, but I think it was a very good episode. So I think 7 out of 10 is exactly where I landed with this one. This has been first episode 7. This one was a 7 as well too. 7 is good. So if it could just continue that, like I just continue to be interesting, continue to be unique, that is all we need with this one. And then sprinkle in some actual romance to happen between Edward and our girl, Carolina. You know, have them have that romance that kind of buds, and let's see a little bit of that. Maybe have them to go on a date and stuff, and talk about like, you know, their first kid and what that's gonna look like. Just silly, fun stuff like that. I think it's gonna be really cool. So I love it so far. I really like this one a lot. I think it's very cute, and I can't wait to watch more. All right, 7 out of 10 for this episode, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.